Speaking of things,
What is it?
Are you not sure what we're doing?
Tell them what it's about.
It's going to be about some things.
Oh.
Okay, let's just roll the episode.
Got it.
All right, so welcome back to Speaking of Things.
Thank you.
We got some fresh beers, fresh out of the cooler. Just grew them in there.
Even got rid of some of the beer.
We did.
Yeah.
In more ways than one.
Too much information.
So, our last episode, or our last segment, we're still new at this. Haven't figured out how we're going to.
6 years is new.
Well, new to the recording. It was the unrecorded 6 years.
100%. Yeah.
I really want to take our viewers along with us and how we're putting this all together.
You said viewers.
Yeah, viewers. I mean, people will probably watch when they're listening and watch the progression of the time slide.
I don't think you understand podcasts. Go ahead.
It's probably good that you brought a ceramic.
They don't see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I have a coaster to protect. What am I even protecting? The coaster's not going to protect any of the equipment in the studio here.
It's protecting our soundproofing on the table.
It wasn't a well thought out plan on my part. All right. So speaking of things,
we were talking about animals in our last segment episode. I wanted to continue along with that, and not sure if you have heard or read. Well, I know that you've heard, but our viewers don't know that you've heard, because what they don't know is that we have unrecorded episodes. Or sorry, episodes that we recorded that we can't use.
Yeah. Well, now they know. You just told them.
Right, but they didn't know before I didn't. They didn't know that before I told them.
Right.
So, wanted to talk a little bit about the woolly mammoth.
You have the floor, sir.
They are bringing back the woolly mammoth from extinction.
Okay, you say the ambiguous term "they."
Yeah, people.
Just some dudes sitting around saying, "Hey, buddy, you know what y'all do this weekend? Bring out their woolly mammoth back."
I imagine that's probably pretty close to how the conversation went.
Really? Why? Okay,
because it sounds like in your storytelling there, they might have been drunk, and I think it would probably take a drunk person to think they could bring back the woolly mammoth. But
is this like a real life, or this is just nonsense?
No, scientists are actually going to bring back the woolly mammoth from extinction.
Scientologists are doing this. I
mean, maybe we stay away from the Sea Organ stuff.
The Sea Organ. All right. So somebody's for real. How do you bring back a woolly mammoth?
Yeah. So they said they're going to do it within the next 5 years. The plan is to bring them back in 2027.
They've got a date.
It's going to cost about $60 million, which I think is pretty cheap to bring an animal back from extinction.
Okay.
I mean, I've not looked into the economics of it, but I imagine $60 million pretty cheap to bring a woolly mammoth back.
That's cheap? I don't what is your barometer? That's cheap. So what would be average to bring back a woolly? Where are you? What is your guideline for that? What are you comparing this to?
I'm comparing it to other things that cost a lot of money.
Things.
Yeah.
So far we've got they and we've got things. Very, very generic.
If you think what's an average skyscraper cost? $1 billion?
Billion? Not a skyscraper.
Oh, I bet they do. Skyscraper in New York? I bet you One World Trade cost over $1 billion.
There's no way of knowing. There's literally no way of finding that information.
I mean, I was in a building last week where I know that it cost $500 million. There were no woolly mammoths.
I don't. Okay. All right. We're veering off course. So, okay. So you feel 60 mil.
Yeah, it's pretty
shit.
cheap to bring back a woolly mammoth.
And then you get a $5 off coupon. Now it's even cheaper. Go. You're making mammoths. Woolly ones.
So they're going to bring them back. And you asked how. So they have enough DNA because they found full woolly mammoths frozen in Siberia, the tundra, and everything. So they feel they have enough DNA, and they're gonna put it up inside an elephant.
Wait. That I'm not a Scientologist.
Yeah,
but that did not sound very scientific.
Well, not the woolly mammoth.
Right.
The woolly mammoth embryos, eggs. I don't know. They're gonna put them inside. I would assume a female elephant.
If I'm being honest, and I am, this is sounding more and more made up.
It's not made up.
Is this like a dark web rumor?
No. I've been banned from the dark web.
That's hard to get banned from.
Well, it was by the federal government.
No, I think that's a general ban, right?
No,
anyway, so
for the FBI listening,
okay. So you're. How did you stumble upon this information?
Apple News just was suggested to me, and I was like,
really?
Oh, I better read this.
Steve Jobs sent this to you
from beyond the grave, some might say.
Hey, they're bringing back woolly mammoths.
Hey, well, you've heard about Walt Disney, so.
Yes, I've heard about him.
Yep.
What's Walt up to? Well, Walt's been long gone.
Yep. But the rumor.
Cryogenically frozen or something, just in case they can bring his brain back and he can make another Mickey Minnie.
Yeah. And I was recently in Disney and I asked them if I could go into the castle and see that. And they only asked me to leave the park 3 times before they called security.
Was it in rapid succession? Please leave. No, seriously, leave. No, sir, you have to leave. Was it like that?
Like you were there.
Was it one of the characters asking you to leave, or was it?
I mean, the guy was definitely a character. So anyway,
yeah,
they're bringing back the woolly mammoth. They're calling it a cold elephant because it's going to live in the Arctic, where it apparently used to live before it died, and it worked out so well then. I can't see what would go wrong now.
Can I call timeout? Timeout. So Steve Jobs gives you a ring, and he's like, check this out. Looking under the cushions, found 60 mil, not that much money. You know what I'm doing? Bringing back the mammoths. Bonus, gonna set them free. Gonna just throw them out in the wild, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Well, Steve Jobs, Apple is not bringing it back. I read it on Apple News.
Oh, so that's different.
Yeah,
Got
I feel like you weren't paying attention.
I usually don't. Okay. For real, they're going to let this thing out?
Yeah, to fight climate change.
With what sort of weapon?
The woolly mammoth.
Oh, the weapon is the mammoth, the woolly one.
Yeah.
Well, I don't get it.
That's all the article said, is that the woolly mammoth is going to fight climate change. And I also was puzzled.
Oh.
Because animals give off methane. And I imagine, I've never, seen a woolly mammoth because they're extinct.
Uh-huh.
But they would also give off methane, unless they're making them methaneless.
Okay. Fast forward, or maybe rewind to Jurassic Park, right? We're talking Jurassic Park now, basically, is what you're describing.
Yes. What the article is describing.
So then you can just bring back. They could find. Let me think. Maybe alligators, very lizard like, or rhinoceros. They could maybe sync up, make a date out of some dinosaur DNA and a modern day sort of reptilian old looking thing. Bring back the dinos. Boom. Is climate change? What change? There's no change. Sorry, we've got dinosaurs and woolly mammoths. Now you need to back off.
Yeah.
right?
Well, bam.
I'm missing. It's like this, like the tiniest part of the story. The fighting part, the fighting of the change of the climate. Maybe
That was what I was very unclear on.
and Apple didn't elaborate.
No, it's a very brief article, mostly focused on bringing back the woolly mammoth and fighting climate change. Spent a little more time talking about bringing the woolly mammoth back and just it was going to fight climate change.
But you're reading it going, that's a freaking bargain. 60 mil.
Yeah.
That's where,
I mean, how much would you pay to bring back an extinct animal? My point exactly.
Exactly. Don't you think there is? Are you sure it's climate change, or is this like somebody's going, you know what, Jurassic Park, good movie, even better if it were real?
No, this is real. You can look it up on the interwebs. Yeah.
I feel like there should be more information.
There should be.
When did you find this?
A couple months ago.
Okay. Has there been an update? Can you look up an update? Can you give me an update?
I could look and see if there's an update.
Go ahead, look at it. Go ahead. I'm ready. Go.
Well, I can't bring the microphone. I can't bring the
It's okay.
Close.
I'll fill for time. Just can you use the, I don't know which interweb you're using, but use the one that specializes in mammoths. And because we're in the studio, if you could, stay off the dark web. So I'm trying to think. I don't know the lifespan of a woolly mammoth. I don't even know.
They're all dead.
Okay. Okay. So
it was in Popular Mechanics, January 2023 issue.
Animatronic. They're gonna build one. Gonna build a woolly mammoth.
Yep. A Dallas-based company is now working on editing genes for the reincarnation of the mammal.
Does it give a name for this company?
Looking.
Just some dude in Dallas. Hey, Billy, come on over this week. We're trying to make that mammoth.
So here's what it says. So Dub's a cold-resistant elephant, but it will also reintroduce the woolly mammoth to save ecosystems in which it once lived in an effort to fight climate change, according to a recent Medium post.
Medium?
That's another publication.
Oh, okay. So what were the first couple words? You said Dubs. What?
So
what did you say? The beginning of that?
Oh, the company dubs the woolly mammoth a cold elephant, and the company is called Colossal.
Oh, okay. Have they had success in any other areas? I wonder.
I don't think so.
And you're doing an excellent job Googling. I'm assuming you're Googling.
Woolly mammoth's DNA is 99.6% the match of an Asian elephant.
Why you got to bring race into this?
I was going to say, it sounds kind of racist.
Damn. Okay. So we've got Asian elephants. They're going to be so surprised when one of these pops out of them. They're going to be like, that's not my kid, man.
Yeah.
And there's some male elephant looking at the female elephant going, you want to explain this? You want to explain how that happened?
Yeah.
But because aren't they like life? Aren't those animals like, what do you call it? Where they stick with their other counterpart? Like
oh yeah, forever mating.
What?
Monogamous.
Look at us with the book smarts. Monogamous, but monomonogy.
You did ask if they're going to bring back others. They're also going to bring back the thylacine, which is known as the Tasmanian tiger. They don't give a date for that.
These two. This is just
to be continued.
Some potheads in a basement
with $60 million.
Trust fund babies. Dude, check it out. What if we make a woolly mammoth? It's only 60 mil, man. We can do this. And fight climate change, man.
It's a win-win.
Everybody wins.
I don't see what can go wrong.
Would there be a woolly mammoth, let's say, petting zoo, do you think?
Well, it's interesting you're going there because I was going to ask, will woolly mammoths be service animals?
What sort of service? I thought they were busy fighting. They're going to be busy, way, way busy fighting.
Climate change.
The change of the climate.
But I imagine, they might want to be a service animal.
Like during their downtime.
Yeah. People might want to use them as a service animal.
You can't be fighting all day. What sort of service would they, what do they call them? The ones that are just sort of there to kind of comfort you. Your
pet?
No, but it's the one that lets them come onto the plane with you. What is that one called? The emotional support thing. Animal.
Pet.
But it's like pet with a license, because now you're saying, hey, gotta have my pet. And they're like, oh, that's cool. You want it on the plane? Yeah, but not in the luggage part of the plane. I want it on my lap. Yeah. Oh, you need a license for that? I do. It's my emotional pet, support pet.
Yeah.
For my kids, because it'll help my emotions.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that there'll probably be some people who want an emotional support woolly mammoth.
Now, there is a difference in size. I imagine you know this, right? Because you mentioned elephant.
Yeah. I've seen elephants. They're pretty big. But, they're emotional support ponies.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the horses seem to get like humans. I don't know, like the horse whisper thing. Like you can whisper to a horse and they're like, yeah, that's cool. I'll do that.
You can whisper to anything.
I whisper to my dogs. They pay no attention. I guarantee you whispers to Sid the cat. Cat's looking at you like, is it dinner time? That's all I got.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even know your name. Doesn't even know your name. No, there will be no emotional support mammoth. They got tusks, remember?
So you're going on the record saying that will never happen.
Yes, I'm feeling like super confident in this one. Yeah. I don't feel like
it's an interesting stance.
I don't feel it's too controversial. Let's put it that way.
I feel it is.
What's more controversial is bringing back an extinct animal and saying, "What if we just let her run free?" I said her. I don't know. Maybe it's a him. Maybe they got both. Him, her. Let them all just roam free in the cold, fixing up that climate.
Yeah.
There is a piece in this puzzle that is missing. It's a huge piece.
How so?
It's an interesting story. And what was the name of the company? Dubs?
No, Colossal. They have dubbed it the cold elephant.
I feel like Dubs would be a better name for that. Dubstep or something. Dubs. Yeah. Like bringing sexy back. Like, is that what they're doing? Bringing sexy. This is just going to be like a record release. This is just a hype machine for
yeah, the thylacine. The Tasmanian
it's going to be
tiger.
MC Woolly Mammoth. And you're like, son of a bitch, they got me. Yeah. I thought for sure a woolly mammoth was coming out of this. No, it's just some Siberian rapper that's going worldwide. I think you've been played.
That would be a curveball. That would be a lot to spend $60 million on.
But these two stoners, they're trust fund babies. They don't care. They are wasted out of their gourd. It's all that Texas oil money that mom and dad left them, right?
We should probably preface for legal reasons we know nothing about this company.
I'm sure they're well-intentioned. They're going to do a fantastic job with all the mammoths, even the woolly ones. But the two dudes in their basement that are like,
it might be more than two dudes.
I don't know. I just visualize they're out of their freaking gourds, and there's just money all over the place from the oil, from their mom and dad, and they're like, dude, follow me. Seriously. We bring back the woolly mammoth. Me and you. Dude, we can do this. And then we mess with them, right? What do you mean? MC Woolly Mammoth. We come out with a rap record. It's so hyped. Okay, it's a built-in It's built-in marketing. You got every news. You even said Steve Jobs came out from the dead just to put an article out there, which, damn, that's awesome that he did that. And these guys are marketing geniuses.
They might be.
I'm not a big rap fan, but I'm getting MC Wooly Mammoth. I'm on it. When there's a pre-order, guess who's in front? Guess who's in front of the line?
Yeah.
Guess.
You.
Yeah. I think it's a good guess.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, if you remember, what was it, like 20 years ago, there was Dolly, the sheep. They say
that's where it got, yeah.
They'd cloned.
Cloning.
But if I'm remembering correctly, they came out like after Dolly died, like 10 or 12 years later, however many years, and said she actually was not a clone. There was something different. Yeah, that was not a clone.
Come on.
Yeah.
For real?
Pretty sure.
I was absent that day. Is this factual?
Someone has to fact check me. We need a fact checker.
Oh, we do have fact checkers. We'll send this to the to our fact checking committee. Oh, here they are.
All right, I'm going to look it up.
Well, pull it up on AOL.
So apparently I have to pay for the rest of this article.
Okay.
But from nature.com, Dolly is not quite a clone.
Not quite a clone.
Yeah.
Meaning?
Not a clone.
Not a clone. We were bamboozled. Well, the cloning is happening though, right?
What do you mean?
I don't know. They've been talking about it for decades now, that the whole cloning thing, you can clone stuff. I don't know. I thought the whole Dolly thing was legit.
It's called a Xerox machine.
It's a Xerox. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Freaking fake Dolly the sheep.
Yeah.
They can grow an ear now, you know.
Sheep?
No. They can grow an ear like in a
Petri dish.
Boom. Right there. Imagine that. Third ear.
You think the Petri dish was named after
Dr. Petri?
What was the name of that show? Rob Petrie, Mary Tyler Moore, Dick Van Dyke.
Man, you went deep. I never watched that.
It was a good show. You should have. It was on in the 60s.
Thanks. Thanks for the heads up. I'll look into that.
Yeah, you should look for
I'll
the
try to
reruns.
catch up. Yeah, don't count on it. Where were you going with that?
How the Petri dish was named.
Then you said Dick Van Dyke show.
Yeah, because the character's name, I forget the name of the show, but Mary Tyler Moore was on it, Dick Van Dyke, and the character's name was Rob Petrie.
I might have just blacked out. What are you saying?
Speaking of things, this episode was brought to you by our sponsors who sponsored this episode. On the next episode of Speaking of Things.
Kids always called me Deweyard.
There goes old Two-Ear. Look at him and his 2 ears prancing around the neighborhood.
I was never much of a prancer.
Speaking of Things is recorded live to a computer hard drive and edited for time. Special thanks to our production person for helping to cast the pod. Our fact checkers for somewhat timely facts. Our legal team for legal things, which we are not permitted to discuss for legal reasons, and allowing us to make legal disclaimers to hopefully avoid any litigation. 11 Labs for AI voices. All voices of Tim and Dave are Tim and Dave, unless otherwise disclosed during the course of the pod production. Speaking of Things would not be possible without sounds coming from our faces or your good listening ears. Until next time, keep speaking of things.
Yeah, the thylacine. The Tasmanian
It's going to be
tiger.
MC Wooly Mammoth, and you're like, son of a bitch, they got me. I thought for sure a woolly mammoth was coming out of this. No, it's just some Siberian rapper that's going worldwide.